Welcome back. Across the open savanna, there is a hunting collective whose mere presence changes the rhythm of a prey's breathing. African wild dogs do not attack alone. They move like a unified machine, each individual holding a precise position. Speed, endurance, and coordination steadily reduce the distance. When the circle closes, the hunt becomes less about strength and more about collective strategy. A sudden disturbance causes the wild dog pack to hesitate, yet a difficult boundary stands ahead. The lion holds firm ground, controlling space without the need to advance. The wild dogs edge closer, then pull back, caught between loyalty and self-preservation. Some rescue attempts end with effort, not outcome. The wild dogs deploy their familiar formation, applying pressure from multiple angles. In front of them stands a body weighing thousands of pounds, far beyond calculation. The elephant needs only a few forward steps to break the encircling structure. When the difference in size is overwhelming, strategy loses its effect. A bull elephant in musth carries visible energy and unmistakable warning. Each step delivers a message without sound. The wild dogs probe, then adjust their distance. In nature, knowing when to stop before crossing into danger is survival intelligence. Within a tightening circle of numbers, the lioness does not turn away. She maintains position as a shield, each step backward measured to create an opening for her cub. Pressure builds, yet the objective remains unchanged. In that moment, protective instinct outweighs tactical advantage. The young antelope is gradually pushed towards still water, where terrain becomes limiting. One wild dog steps into the shallows first, holding the exit route while others wait along the bank. Brief and precise coordination rapidly narrows available space. When retreat disappears, the outcome begins to take shape. An encounter along a narrow path shifts the atmosphere instantly. The elephant herd tightens formation, adults forming a moving wall. Calves are guided to the center, where every approach is blocked. Facing that defensive structure, the wild dogs remain at a distance and observe. The calm surface suddenly erupts as a crocodile launches a swift ambush. One individual is held back, and the wild dog pack immediately turns, unwilling to abandon a member. They hold no advantage in the water. Yet persistent barking and repeated close approaches create enough disruption to open a moment of escape. In a pack-driven world, loyalty can become the only weapon. The scarce waterhole quickly turns into territory claimed by elephants. A few heavy steps forward are enough to push the wild dogs back. There is no prolonged chase, only a clear declaration of control. During the dry season, water is not just a resource. It marks the boundary of survival. When one member is restrained, the wild dogs abruptly shift tactics. They spread out, drawing the lion's attention in multiple directions. In the instant, the focus breaks. The captured individual finds an opening to regain footing and escape. On the savanna, reading reflex matters more than direct confrontation. At a familiar signal from a distance, the wild dog pack tightens formation and advances. Continuous pressure forces the hyena into defense rather than counteraction. When other hyenas arrive, balance returns. In competition over food, understanding limits prevents unnecessary escalation. Young individuals are often the most vulnerable targets. As the wild dogs press forward, the lioness steps in front, drawing attention to herself. Each measured step back creates space for her cub to move out of danger. In nature, protection is not only strength, it is the ability to maintain rhythm under pressure. An effort to secure a meal at elevation is interrupted by the arrival of numerous wild dogs. The leopard withdraws to a safer position rather than hold ground. The wild dogs take control of the food, yet stability is soon tested by other opportunists. On the savanna, controlling a food source means sustaining collective order. Hidden within low grass, the lioness waits patiently for the slightest disruption in formation. A brief yet precise advance slows the wild dog pack's momentum. There is no need for prolonged pursuit, only a clear establishment of risk boundaries. On the savanna, controlling space can matter as much as speed. A slight movement beneath dry soil does not escape keen scent detection. The wild dog pack quickly converges, decisive digging narrowing every exit. By the time the target emerges, distance has already been calculated. In open terrain, early detection becomes the decisive advantage. A burrow beneath the ground offers only temporary safety. As the wild dogs dig in unison, pressure increases with each passing second. Panic disrupts timing, and retreating space gradually disappears. Their strength lies not in the individual, but in uninterrupted coordination. The approach begins with seamless blending into open terrain. When the moment is right, the entire pack tightens from multiple directions, with speeds reaching about 37 miles per hour and remarkable endurance. They sustain pressure until the target weakens. Here, success does not come from a brief burst, but from organized persistence. A single lapse at the water's edge shifts the entire situation. The crocodile launches a silent ambush, so fast that response barely forms. The surface closes as if nothing occurred. At the boundary between land and water, vigilance must be constant. Darkness fails to conceal movement once the warthog is detected early. The wild dogs assume clear roles, forcing it from sheltered ground. Pressure remains continuous, leaving no opening for effective counteraction. When terrain opens, collective discipline quickly shapes the direction of the encounter. The wild dog pack applies steady pressure as a male lion crosses their active range, yet size and presence create an invisible boundary not easily crossed. The lion does not need to accelerate, maintaining a measured stride within the shifting circle. As distance holds, tension dissolves without a direct charge. There is no reckless counterattack, only a low and steady defensive stance. The wild dogs surround, but avoid crossing a clear risk line. Each side reads the other's limits. The encounter concludes through calculated restraint rather than a decisive victory. In open ground with no cover, a solitary individual quickly falls into disadvantage. The wild dog pack tightens formation, turning numbers into sustained pressure. Every defensive effort is disrupted by precise coordination. In this contest, collective discipline creates a clearer advantage than individual strength. As a hunt begins to take shape, the shadow of a male lion cuts across the grass. A single step forward is enough to slow the pack's rhythm. Size and presence disrupt coordinated intent in an instant. Rather than escalate, the wild dogs choose to maintain distance. A measured decision against unnecessary risk. The encounter unfolds unexpectedly, with neither side fully prepared. The male lion does not charge, advancing only far enough to erase safe distance. The pack's formation immediately loses rhythm. Without pursuit, his presence alone completes control of the situation. A young individual lagging behind always faces the highest level of risk. The wild dogs coordinate smoothly, narrowing distance through endurance and speed. The mother buffalo pivots to shield her calf, keeping it within reach. When the balance no longer favors prolonging the effort, withdrawal preserves strength. A survival choice no less important than advance. Scarce food sources easily heighten tension. The lioness maintains just enough control to affirm her position, then chooses to move on. It is not avoidance, but careful energy calculation for the road ahead. In nature, knowing when to stop is a form of strength. Amid the scattered sounds of a feeding scene, the shadow of a male lion appears at the edge of the savanna. He does not rush, advancing only enough to disrupt the pack's familiar rhythm. The wild dogs recognize the imbalance of risk and withdraw almost in unison. The prey is left behind because in the wild, safety always outweighs short-term gain. The cub becomes the focal point of mounting pressure. The lioness steps forward, turning her body into the final boundary. Each close approach is met with steady resolve. When a narrow opening appears, the cub moves clear of danger, and the protective instinct fulfills its role. The male lion does not chase the disturbance along the trail. He waits, allowing the antelope to move into controlled distance. The approach is slow yet precise, as advantage has already been shaped in advance. Once leverage is secured, the pursuit ends almost immediately, a reminder of patience's value. Proximity to human space softens vigilance for a brief moment. The leopard approaches with characteristic silence and speed. Yet an unexpected reflex and a rare opening create an escape route. The prey slips free by a narrow margin, a reminder that nature always holds unpredictable exceptions. African wild dogs demonstrate that in nature, the greatest strength often comes from coordination and discipline. An individual may not dominate alone, but together they become one of the savanna's most formidable forces. Thank you for watching to the end of today's video. If pack-driven hunting strategies like these are compelling, subscribe and continue exploring future journeys ahead.